The game.
Oh, did you see that pass?
Schweig Engle.
The king of credit.
Oh, no, another crazy Schweig Engle commercial? And we're going to give credit to you.
I'd like a piece of the Schweig Engle credit pie. Ooh, look, a magic lamp. I wish I'd gone to Schweig Engle where I could get some credit.
We are the Schweig Engle Credit Genies.
Schweig Engle 2-year, no finance charge, Jurassic credit.
If we charge you finance charges, then Schweig Engle will give you a new Mercedes.
There's something good at Union Natural Bridge. Who you gonna call? Schweig Engle.
Hi, my name is Kenny Sills. I'm an old Gen Xer. I was born in the 70s and grew up in the 80s. And I remember when I was a kid watching the Three Stooges Saturday nights on Channel 11. And after the Stooges were over, there was some pretty fun commercials. There was Becky, the Queen of Carpet, who flew up on her carpet over the St. Louis Arch. There was Steve Mizrahi, who used to skate around his store. One of my favorites, though, were the Schweig Engle guys. I remember they had the craziest commercials I've ever seen, and they made me not even want to leave the room, go to the bathroom and get popcorn, but I wanted to stay and watch the commercials, especially if they were new. And I was watching Three Stooges recently online, and there's no commercials, of course, and it got me to thinking about those old commercials and where the Schweig Engle guys might be today. So I decided I was going to go out and try to find them, and I did. And they did not disappoint. So when these crazy commercials ended and the camera stopped, turns out that's when the real show started. And if you're not from St. Louis, you don't know these guys, I'm going to let them introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Warren C. Lewis Jr.
And I'm Michael P. Stein, and
We are the Kings of Credit.
Schweig Engle was a 100-year-old business that sold furniture, TVs, and appliance. We found this little niche, and a lot of stores were going out of business trying to do what they were doing, going against the big box stores. We grew like crazy, providing people a chance to not just get nice furniture, appliances, but also get an opportunity to improve their wealth and by establishing a better credit ratings. Real proud of what we did for 25 years. Originally, it started as a portrait photography studio in 1919. Then my grandfather moved to St. Louis, and he sold the first radio in St. Louis. In fact, we were the first Cardinal baseball sponsor on the radio because we promoted radios and sold radio. He was selling these high-end radios, so to speak, for a lot of money. And then the neighborhood started to change to more blue collar and then more black. This is right in the late 50s and 60s when TVs, stereos were really getting big. We started getting a lot of customers that could not get credit approved. One thing led to another, and that allowed us to really prosper for the next 50 years. People came to us for two reasons. One, they knew we had high quality, it was going to last. And number two, they wanted to build their credit or have access to these things.
And I'll never forget one time, a lady came in to buy an air conditioner. And I said, okay, well, how are you doing this? She said, oh, I'm using to put on my credit card. She said, you know how I got this credit card? I started credit with you all. You all gave my first credit when I started building credit. So I said, when I get this credit card, I'm going back there and buy it with my credit card to show them that they gave me my shot.
You have to remember, a lot of people, it's embarrassing to go into a store and you can't afford to buy it, and then they run your credit and you get turned. So we wanted people to realize that they weren't going to be turned down.
We'll give you a Mercedes.
Yeah, we'll give you a Mercedes-Benz. It was his Mercedes, by the way.
It was my Mercedes.
We were doing traditional advertising, like, come to our store, we're having a sale. Nobody came to our store. And one of the guys at KMJM, the radio station, said, why don't you do something a little crazy, a little wacky, see how that works. And we did Schweig Engle Vice. I did a takeoff of Miami Vice, and our store was packed. We had to turn off this ad. So it didn't take a business genius or an advertising genius to figure out, well, people paid attention to that. We hooked up with Channel 11 and Channel 30 and just got some really creative people, and I would kind of come up with the idea, and then we had a third partner. Him and I would write the spots, and we'd get the costumes, and then we would just roll the film. And what you saw was us just being us.
They loved it. And I remember we went out to Forest Park. It was a jungle scene we did.
It was a takeoff on Tarzan.
Leaves and bushes, we're pushing stuff around. You want credit? It was zany,
Yeah.
and it worked.
Yeah.
And we had a great time doing it.
We did a takeoff on Ghostbusters. Who you gonna call? Credit Busters. And we were in the suits, and we were shooting the lasers. We got a letter in the mail from Columbia Pictures, a cease and desist. That's how good it was. Chuck Berry from St. Louis. We were credit be good, and we got a letter from him, saying knock it off. Steve Mizrarini, Becky, Queen of Carpet, Uncle Leonard was another one, Slyman Brothers. They all shot these commercials at the same place. I like to think we had them topped by a little bit. But,
I know we topped them.
Yeah.
Well, we outlasted all of them.
Yeah, we did. We tried to do 4 to 5 a year. Over 25 years is about 100 to 150 commercials, okay? It's hard to be funny over and over again. That's why I really give a lot of credit to Warren and to John. They really made the commercials feel that we were having fun. This was a friendly family place, and we're here to help you out.
We did it not only to sell, we enjoyed it, and we had fun doing it. And I think our customer who saw it got the message, but also enjoyed it. It's like a girl on your first date. If you get her to smile, you're halfway in there.
Yeah. I did a commercial where we were getting naked, and I thought that was going to get shot down, but it didn't. There's so many ads out there. Right. If it was zany and we could weave our message into it, it happened.
The Riverfront Times gave us a review that we were kind of disturbed and deranged, and we were. That was the intention.
I was having so much fun with it. It was really sad, our last commercial. But everything has a life to it. Everybody was getting older. You go through fire and battle together. And to this day, I always get a smile on my face when I think about what we did. I hope when I pass away that people say, he always made people around him better. Really, we helped a lot of people get the things that they wanted, they needed, they deserved, but also the employees. We had a great group of people. To me, it was like almost Camelot.
His uncle, he would walk past him, look.
Yeah. I mean, Morton is a great example. Super guy, puts faith in me. You're only as good as the people you surround yourself with in life. And I really believe that because of my experience with Schweig Engle.
So as a kid, I couldn't imagine someday sitting down with these legends in St. Louis and learning everything I learned from them. Maybe you never heard of Schweig Engle before this. Maybe you got your first credit from them. Maybe you're sitting on a couch that they sold you. A lot's changed since then, since I was a kid. The cameras have stopped, the stores have closed down, but these guys are still doing what they were doing back then. They're still passionate about helping their community and making people's lives better. And it got me to thinking there's so much more in St. Louis that I remember from being a kid. If there's anything in particular, something special that you'd like to see, leave in the comments, and maybe I'll do a show and that'll be a part of my next journey.